Parks and Recreation Board. And we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Reminder for all visitors, please sign in by the door with your name and address. Ammon, if we can have the mission statement.
Sir, the mission statement is Logansport Parks and Recreation Department is committed to building a vibrant and healthy community for future generations with accessible recreational facilities and programs that promote physical health, social engagement, conservation, and cultural appreciation.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes. Everybody got a copy of the minutes. Did anybody have any questions or problems with the minutes? Okay, so those will be adopted as published. Old business, disc golf course, the AmVets donation. So this came up last year. The AmVets came and wanted to donate some money for disc golf. And then, we didn't hear any more from them, and winter came, and so do we have an update on what's happening with that?
Dave or Jackie, do you want to talk about the disc golf course and what you're interested in doing?
You can go at that. I know you missed it.
Yeah. See this side of it. That's the microphone for you.
Please state your name and your address.
Oh, I gotta state my name and my address? Dave Smith, 1428 Chicago Street. You're right, last year, summer or early spring, AmVets approached us about donating money to us for some disc golf baskets. At the time we tabled it, we all, if I remember right, I don't want to speak for everybody on the board, but if I remember right, we were all pretty excited about it, but it just kind of got shoved off to the side. So when I assumed my role as sports manager, my niece is on the AmVets board, and I reached back out to her and asked her if they were still interested. She came back to me and said, yeah, we're still very interested. They were going to give us $500. When I reminded her of it the other day, she said, yeah, we're still coming, and we might give you $800 instead of the $500. So they have pledged us $500 for the disc golf course. We are working on a plan to have a 9-hole disc golf course. It's still very preliminary, but we're working on ideas to have a 9-hole golf course with some of the sponsorship money that we're getting from corporate sponsors will help with some of that cost, along with some of our other events that Jacqueline will talk about later. So that's our update with AmVets. We're thinking about the back end of Dykeman Park, back by the playground equipment and stuff like that. We're going to go out and look at that area Friday to see if that'll work for a 9-hole disc golf course. Questions?
Just wanted to stay current with it,
wow.
just wanted to keep up current with it and not let it fall apart, so.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Also under old business, Parks Board Resolution 2026-01, amend the program fees.
Well, it's one fee, actually, is the only fee that I would like to change, and that's the swimming lesson fee. I am working with Mandy Hall and Haley Raymer, who are the Lewis Cass swim coaches, to be our program instructors rather than employees. They would be instructors at the pool to teach swimming lessons. They feel like they can have up to 35 kids per session, and 3 sessions, and I really feel like we'll get a higher quality experience for kids that take swim lessons with them, because they've taught swim lessons all their lives, and I think that they'll have a much better handle on what's involved in teaching swimming. And so to do this, I would like to raise the fee from $40 to $50 and have the contract would actually be with Mandy Hall, and we would pay her, Mandy, who will be responsible for paying all of her people out of that $45 per student. And so we would keep 50, or we would keep 5 and pay them 45. And I just think it'd be, and it also, the other thing about it, it also takes out all those hours that lifeguards spend out of our budget. So maybe we won't, we do have an extra week this coming year because we usually go from the weekend after graduation, or the week after graduation is when we start, and we go till the week before school lets out, or starts back up. And that gives us an extra week, so I really need that extra time to pay lifeguards under the budget we have. And so, but this takes that whole, that time that our staff spends on lessons out of the whole paying them. So, so anyway, that's the only change. Everything else is the same as what we did last year. And does that make sense to you? And when you do these things, you gotta, if you don't keep it all in there, then you have to go back to the old one for other things. So this is, this will be current in terms of the resolution, and then the ordinance that will be done by the council. And so, and everything is in there that needs to be said, so.
Just ask, so you said instructor versus employee, so they're going to be considered like a vendor to the city?
Well, I don't know, program instructors is what we've always done. Like, we do that with tennis, we do that with golf. So this will be the same, under the same kind of contract that we do. And that's usually approved by the Board of Works, that contract.
Sometimes you
And-
have like things where people do subcontractors and they're really employees. And so I just want to make sure that we are clear on that.
No, it's clear in
So-
that contract
so
that
it
they
would-
are a contractor,
Right.
not
And so
an employee.
we probably need to check with the insurance company to make sure that they don't need to carry their own liability along with us. I mean, we would have an umbrella liability. We should probably make sure that they also have,
We talked about that too, and I think
Yeah.
they were planning to work with that.
but I mean, that would be something where if something happened, God forbid, that they would then, we say, well, they weren't our employees, I mean, there's a certain amount of, oh, they're an employee of the city, and that gives you kind of.
Well, and I would suspect that they will hire some of the lifeguards, that we'll have, but
But they're working for them.
they'll be working for them, not for us, so, anyway. I know it's kind of different for us.
No, I think it's fine. There's some trickiness of employees and, 1099. I mean, there's just some trickiness when they take on our people's and their employees, then there's some payroll tax stuff that's just,
I don't have to worry about that.
Get dinged for no FICA and all that stuff.
Huh?
Workman's comp. Right. Yeah, there might be more of an accountant question, really. That's a Zaner thing, but.
yeah. Just something to ask somebody, our insurance, Michael Bowditch or something like that. So, I'm fine.
Any other discussion on that? Okay, take a vote on that. Do we have a motion to approve Parks Board Resolution 2026-01, which is an amendment of 2025-11, changing the swim lesson fee from $40 to $50?
So moved.
We we have a second?
Second?
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Business. Parks Board Resolution 2026-02, applying for an AARP grant for a pedestrian crossing at Spencer Park.
So we've been appropriated $50,000 from the GO bond to build our pedestrian crossing at Spencer Park. And in the meantime, along with that, we've been there. I came across this grant application with AARP, and it has a pedestrian safety element to it, and I just thought that it was a great opportunity for us to maybe, if we need it, an extra $25,000. Hopefully they got, from what I can see, there's probably about $8 million that they're going to be giving out of this fund, that they're going to, $25,000, I don't know how many, but I don't know how many grants that makes it, but that's quite a few grants, I think, and I feel like they were giving some other grants in the past that were doing this exact same thing, building pedestrian crossing. So I'm working with HWC, Scott Wilkinson, and his associate. Scott grew up here in Logansport, and he's helping me prioritize what we can afford and what we can't afford. I was ready to find out about a hawk light, like the one they have in Peru, there at the Nickel Plate Trail. You know what I'm talking about, right there at the Wendy's, before you cross over. And I thought, maybe we can do that for $50,000. No, $300,000. I was like, okay, we won't be doing that. So what we're thinking about is a raised pedestrian, or a raised bed that would come up to probably the height of the curb. And so it's an easy transition right across from the curb over to the other side where there's a curb as well. And then build some kind of a trail down to the actual trail that we've got over there on the south side of High Street. So that's technically what we're hoping to do. So I don't have all the details yet. I'm supposed to have a meeting with Scott again next week, so we'll get our numbers all ironed out. I'm going to meet with Kurt Brandstatter as well tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be able to discuss this with him during that meeting as well. So I don't know my actual numbers yet, but I know I know that I got $50,000, but that doesn't mean I have to spend that if we can get this 25 out of that. Maybe it won't be that much. I just don't know yet, so.
So are we looking at, you're talking about raised concrete, I'm assuming that's going to include?
Not concrete, asphalt.
Or asphalt?
Uh-huh.
Paint on the road to
Yep.
signify the
Yep.
whatever?
Yeah,
What
so the
else has-
crossing,
what else would
and
be
plenty of
involved in that?
signage way on both ends of the park before you even get to the park.
Does it have the push button and makes the light flash or anything?
No, I don't think we'll have anything like that.
I knew I didn't have
If we can, that's the hawk light.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we can't do that, but maybe, stop signs maybe, stop if there's a pedestrian in the crossing or stuff like that, I don't know yet, so we got we still got a lot of work to do, but I guess this is asking for your permission to apply to the AARP Community Challenge Grant, because it's due March the 4th.
Discussion on it? Suzie?
So, when you say that, I don't understand how this would hook up to the trail.
have to build an additional, the trail on the south side of the road, just that one section of trail on Riverside, or in Spencer Park.
It's the wide walkway, it's the pathway.
It's the asphalt pathway that runs that completes the circle.
Had people actually ask about
Oh, so you're not, okay. So you're just talking about making a place to go across
walking the street.
the street.
Yes.
It would be raised up and you'd have lights. And so if you got your $25,000 grant, then would you just want then the city would just match that $25,000 grant?
I don't, that's when, I gotta find out how much my money is gonna, how far my money's gonna go, okay? I don't know yet. I might need all that 50,000, plus this 25, so I'm not sure yet. But, if we can do it for less, I want to, so.
So are you gonna get a plan drawn up and?
Yeah, I'll have that for sure when I submit the application. I'll have a good idea what the plan's gonna be.
Okay, so if that's due March 4th, this is February, so that's not gonna be, okay. Well, if we could get that, so I could, so we can have, we can have a plan done. all-
Okay.
At the last city council meeting, we actually talked like, well, I don't know if it was the last one or the one before, when we
I don't know if
actually
they're gonna do it on
talked
High
about
Street, 'cause
crosswalk. Then they
I think
turned
the
it
lights
and,
would
oh,
be
the
great
street
at that.
department will just go up there and throw down some, you were there. The street department will just go up there and throw down some, some yellow tape and, we acted like it wasn't gonna be that big of a deal, we could just do whatever we wanted. So your new idea comes because you learned about this grant.
Well, and you can't just, when you think, and that was the thing that Scott Wilkinson was pointing out, was that's a pretty heavily traveled road. And you can't just do that without making sure that it's well done. And I get the idea of just, painting it and that's it, but it's not good enough to slow people down. And that's the key thing. Even if we don't put in the pedestrian crossing, we've got to slow people down when they come into that area. And, lights, signals, signage, road markings, all that stuff is part of what has to happen, so.
So this is from Pavilion side to Park side, like on High Street?
Yes, yeah.
They have, like Purdue has a bunch of crosswalks. There's not much to them, but there are some flashing lights, which I think on High Street, I think we need, we did the thing at Christmas. Dave and I were taking our lives in our hand with a
Yeah, you were.
stop sign.
Directed traffic for pedestrians to cross on
Well-
opening night of Christmas in the park, it would take your life into your own hands.
Really?
But that was where she was saying, though, those lights are like $300,000. So,
I can't believe the one.
different kinds,
I'm just saying, the ones that Purdue seem pretty simple. They're like, you flip there'd have to be a wire that runs from two sides, but it's not as complicated as well, maybe, who knows? Yeah, and it's not like a street
That was
light.
put in
It's just
about
it looks
10
like a
years
smaller
ago, too.
version, yeah, but they have a lot of those down there, and, a flashing light would be nice. Now, I think the city also has like a safety grant or maybe it's the schools, there's some combination that maybe the schools could come in too and get a safety grant of some sort, combine it with yours.
EJ,
How wide do you say this thing's gonna be?
sorry, I can't hear you, sorry.
5 feet wide, 6 feet wide?
How wide is it?
Oh, I think it would run the length of the road, like from curb
Width
to
of the
curb.
road.
How wide?
Oh, yeah, 6 or 8 feet, I would think.
So you got a squad car or ambulance coming down there at 2 in the morning doing about 50 or 60, and they hit that thing, or a fire truck. You gonna pay for that, repair it?
Well, but it's a
I
20
think
mile per
that's a
hour
city
zone.
council question.
I mean, it's,
Your life's on the line, try someone else.
I think at Purdue, it is flat. They have striping
Big
there.
lines on there, that'd be the best thing.
It's like a
Put a
permanent
speed bump in there.
like we did with,
Take out someone
trail.
who do damage to
It's
cars.
not a speed bump, it's a raised level, and it's probably going to be 8 to 12 feet wide across the road there. So, I don't see it as a speed bump
I
at
mean, it
all.
would be no different than going over railroad tracks. I mean, they're not going to fly over 18th Street railroad tracks at 50 miles an hour. I mean, it's just a 4 or 6 inch raise that's enough to make you slow down so that you don't hurt your car. But, I mean, like I said, buses and ambulances and cops, they have to go over all kinds of stuff on the road. I don't think it's that big of a deal, myself.
Never driven one, have you?
What, an ambulance?
Or a squad car or a truck?
Oh, I've driven a lot of stuff, but I mean, again, I'm gonna watch the road and I'm not gonna endanger
When
myself.
there's an emergency and they're going for someone's life, you wanna put a 8-foot wide, high as a curb speed bump.
I think there's different versions. I swear the ones at Purdue are flat, but they've got these flashing lights, and I think it says $10,000 fine if you don't stop when the light is flashing or something like that. So
There's other ones in the city of Lafayette that are crosswalks in neighborhoods, where you've got subdivisions on both sides and you've got walking paths, and it's, I can't remember the road, it's Greenbush or
It's
one of those.
Greenbush, yeah.
But I think that's the idea we're looking at.
I'm thinking his point too, if you elevate it, people are gonna blow across. I mean, High Street, I mean, from us standing out there, it's a pretty fast road.
It
so-
is,
Well,
It's 20 there anyway, though.
it's 20,
Nobody
yeah.
goes,
They're not going 20.
but I mean,
Nobody goes 20 there.
engineers, engineers will figure this out and take
well,
this
yeah, I mean,
into account.
I
you
think
know what
we,
mean?
there's people that,
I think it certainly it's going to take a period of time for people to get used to it, and maybe some additional signage and I don't know if we can get some of those signs that are the message signs or something at first, you know. I think that things like that are going to have to happen, but, you know, I think we got to try to do something there. We have to. It's just too dangerous to get people from one side to the other. And whether we're doing Christmas in the park or not, people still need to use the restrooms that are on one side of the park, or one side of the road, or they want to go to the playground if they're on, you know, over at the pavilion, or they want to go down to the river in the pavilion from the other side. So it's not like, you know, it's not like it's going to not happen just because we're not doing Christmas in the park. It's still going to be an issue.
it was an eye-opener to me because it would scare me when the kids were, because we had the reindeer down below and people were walking across. It was scary to me, you know, that I wasn't actually worried by myself, but I'm thinking somebody blows by me and I got a stop sign and we were standing out in the middle of the street, in the lane, they had to take me out first. But we were both on that, each of those, and some people came barreling up and, you know, it's like, okay,
It was a little
I called it to make sure I paid for my life
off-putting.
insurance.
I mean, the only non-obtrusive way for the road would be to build an overhead bridge that goes from one side to the other. But you would have to spend so much money to get a ramp at the right degree to get everybody up high enough to get over to the other. I mean, that's really the only other option, and that's gonna cost way more than the lights would even cost. So, I mean, that's just not a feasible option unless the city's gonna pay
But
for
the
it.
only thing you have on the north side, correct, is the parking lot, the drive going down.
There's the upper parking lot, the lower parking lot, the drive that goes down to the pavilion and the gazebo. And is there a boat dock down there now?
North side.
And the river.
The river and
Those
the,
are
and
people
the,
go out
and the
to the
kayak launch is down there too.
But they have no sidewalk on the north side of the street.
North side, I don't think it has a
No,
sidewalk.
we don't have a sidewalk there.
You could put up a couple of flashing signs that are operated by solar, and just mark it off and paint and be done with it. There's never been a kid hit there as far as I can remember for years.
You should have done that at the white fence.
This guy's own Facebook page.
Well,
Why don't we do the research?
Yeah.
Find out what it costs, what the project would be like, what the options are.
I think we can do that, but the fact is, the grant has to be applied for by March 4th. So if we're gonna apply for the grant, we have to approve the resolution. Doesn't necessarily mean we have to do any certain project, or if we get the money, we don't have to take it, but I think there's ways to research it more and we can look into it, but I think we should pass the resolution to not throw away a potential $25,000. That's just my opinion on that. Any other discussion? All right, do we have a motion to adopt Parks Board Resolution 2026-02 to apply for the AARP Community Challenge Grant Funds of $25,000?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Motion is carried. Let's see. We are up to the Administrator's Management Report.
Real quick, Jason,
Sorry.
can we swing back to MVets?
Yes, let's do
Because I do believe
Oh, are they here?
now have
Okay.
representatives.
Oh, that's okay. Yes, we can revisit the AMVets in the old business. Come on up. How are you?
Casey Tremblay, past state president for the AMVET Riders and local representation here for 82621. We had talked earlier on, I believe 3 meetings ago, about Frisbee golf baskets in the park. Now, it was brought back to me where you guys needed $400 to do that.
Well,
Is that?
I don't remember the exact dollar amount.
I think Dave wants to talk.
Yeah.
We're gonna have him.
so the exact dollar amount originally given to Dacia, who's my niece, was, they were, the permanent baskets were $400 a piece.
Okay.
So I sent her the price, and she came back to me with this, you guys could give us $500. So then we were gonna move from there to get the rest of the money for a 9-hole disc golf course. So
Okay.
that's where we're at with that.
Okay, well, we talked about it further and actually wanted to up the ante and do $800.
And this young lady right here will be more than happy to take that money.
Takes the money too, you have all the fun jobs.
It's whoever
So,
gets up first.
We,
Yeah.
unfortunately, so this money comes out of our, we get together every Tuesday night, we call it Fat Boy Tuesday, we go somewhere, we eat, and every one of us throws a $5 bill into the hat. So this is like rainy day money, so to speak. So over a period
Thank you
of.
very much.
Thank you so much.
So there's $800.
Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate that.
Who do we write the receipt to?
I can just write it to him, that's.
Pardon me? Just AMVets?
Fat boys, oh, never mind. Fat Tuesdays.
Sure we offend someone.
If we get that, Dan, if we get that receipt, you can give it to me and I'll get it to my niece.
Get a picture,
Okay.
maybe?
You got one.
Just did it.
Hey, wake
Yeah.
up, Grandpa.
I'm sorry. I didn't have my sleep.
Second meeting.
Wake up.
Now,
Hey, when's the cupcakes coming?
Heard we're getting some, yeah.
okay, so.
All right, so, back on track, we are at the Administrator's Management Report. Jan?
If you guys hadn't figured this out, we never have a downtime. We didn't have a downtime in January at all. And so, anyway, let me just kind of go through my list here that's important. The clubhouse signage is completed, and if you, especially our donor signage, it's all up and ready to go. And then we've got I'm going to let Dean talk about the Centennial Golf Outing. The trail cameras are 90% complete. 3 cameras still need to be fully set up. I mean, they're in place, but they haven't been networked yet, right? Is that pretty much the case? Okay. So there's 2 at Mulehausen and 1 at Dykeman, but everything else is working just fine. In fact, that's how we got numbers for Christmas in the Park on the number of cars that went through and the number of pedestrians that went through we used our cameras for that. So that was really cool. So, Geo Bond Fund Projects, a backhoe, we did get that purchase and it was delivered. A tractor mower, and, what else is that? What else is there? Oh, stump grinder. Those things have been ordered. the pedestrian crossing planning's begun. Picnic tables have been ordered. And we just actually ordered and delivered new tables and chairs for both McHale and Penman. The chairs are only at Penman, but the new tables and chairs are at McHale, and they look awesome. They're all white. It looks like we're ready for a wedding just right now. So they really look terrific. So Jacqueline has been working on 4th of July already. We think we have Tyson as a sponsor of our adult kickball tournament. The Grace Scott Band has been secured, a contract signed. Counterpoint will also be performing following the kickball tournament, okay? And we're meeting this week with the police department to look at emergency preparations as well. And then we also had a Parks Foundation meeting last week. The big thing is that we are working with the Ferris Tribune on a new publication called the Park and Play Press. And you know the coupons that come out in the paper once a month or so, they always have some sort of a folder kind of thing. They call it a wrap. Well, we're going to have that wrap, and we get to use that every month for promoting the Logansport Parks. And so we're really pleased about that. I said right now we're kind of how are we going to fill it? How are we going to how the logistics of doing a piece of paper, two sides that's that big is a lot of stuff. So we're excited about that, though. I think that'll be cool. I'll let Jacqueline talk about our digital media, how that was all set up, and put it on your calendar. March 5th from 4 to 6, we're going to do business after hours at Dyckman. I forgot to write that, at Dyckman, with the Chamber of Commerce, and it'll include a ribbon cutting at 4 p.m. So if you can be there at 4, that'd be great. If you can't, you can come maybe afterwards. Hopefully you'll be able to be there afterwards at some point. But we're going to have the simulators going, and so everybody can have a chance to do that with some food and drink as well. So, I'll let Kevin talk about his work and things that he's done. I have also been doing, I worked on his annual report. I'll get back to that, but the Parks Board and the Parks Foundation Board both toured the Memorial Center week before last, and I think it was eye-opening for everybody that got to see it. I think nobody realized the basement, the ideas of what could go on in that basement. It'd really be a sharp place, but I think everybody's concerned about the hurdles that have to be crossed, especially in regards to money and I think contaminants like asbestos and lead are a concern that we need to be sure are taken care of. So, I also started working with the Indiana Parks and Rec Association in what they call a small town initiative, and so that hopefully that gives us a chance to see what other small towns are doing in their communities as well. So, okay, and I've already talked about those other two things. So, then I wanted to just the annual report that you have in front of you. I think we talked a little bit about what we accomplished last month and what we're going to be doing this year. So there's nothing really new in there, but I printed 50 copies of this so that we could use those as promotional items. And I'm sorry, Mike, it doesn't say Mike Allman on there because this was last year.
I'm upset. Yeah.
This is last year, so.
Get your picture here, though.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That reindeer. I think it looks like him.
Is he there?
I think he is. He's got the horns. Yeah, that's him.
That's terrible. All right.
It's one of the jokes we have.
Okay. I have interviewed, I've interviewed Valeria Cortez, because she's interested in the pool manager position, and Ava Martin, pool manager. These two young ladies are experienced at Mulehausen Aquatic Center for 3 years for Valeria and 2 for Ava. They're both very responsible young ladies, and I feel like we'll have a good, and I think taking the swimming lessons off of their plate is going to be a big help to them as well. So I would like to ask your approval to hire them as our manager and assistant pool manager.
Valeria is the manager?
Huh?
You said Valeria is the manager?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the hiring of Valeria Cortez as the pool manager and Ava Martin as the assistant manager for the 2026 year?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
And then I'd like to kind of have a little discussion with you, how you feel about 2 items. The first is some of the unused structures at Spencer Park. The one that is probably the most prevalent to everybody is that structure that sits on the hill overlooking the river. It's falling apart. It serves no purpose whatsoever.
Bunker?
Yeah, it looks like a little bunker, yeah. And we'd really like to remove that and get that out of the way so that we can keep that hill just a solid hill without other things in the way, so. The other one that, and we discussed this some more yesterday at our own staff meeting. The other one is the Sugar Shack. And we just talked about, the idea of keeping it, or, it's not a bad building. The building itself, the structure itself is in okay shape. It needs new electrical upgrade to it to do anything in there. But, the one thing that we've been talking about in all our things about how we can do a better job of bringing more money in is concession stands. We need to do more concessions, and maybe that's what we do there at Spencer Park, and get
At
that.
TPA Park in Frankfurt, when they have their light deal, it's been great for years.
Well, that was
They have
one.
the hot chocolate and the Santa Claus and all
Yep,
that.
and that's kind of what we were talking about, was maybe doing something there. That could be where Santa's at, and we could be selling other park merchandise if we want to, or, certainly a slushy machine that Jacqueline would love to see us have. Anyway, it would be, I just feel like, whoever takes out, whatever we do with it, if we do something, it needs to be consistent for the community. And that's what the problem was with that concessionaire that we had before, was there was no consistency with her being there on a regular basis, so people could count on it being open. So then, so anyway, I just feel like that's one of the problems with that. We've also talked a little bit about that with the men's softball in Riverside being open more often. And so, just as the service of having food or drink in the park is a big deal, And there's enough people in that park on a regular basis, even more so during Christmas, that would merit a good location for a concession stand.
So what would
I would
be-
like to hear what you guys have to say
What would
about
be
it.
involved with, you said that we need to do electrical work on it to make it work?
Yeah, it's all knob and tube. It's all
Okay.
really old electrical, right? Yeah.
Comments on it?
Geez, me have an opinion? I like Riverside first for concessions. I think there's a bigger crowd there. And then I think the second thing is the staffing thing. My brother's a history professor. He came back to Logansport, wanted to see the historical museums in town. They're open on Tuesday and Thursday from 2 to 4 or something like that. And so, and there was all the controversy. We had to have Iron Horse stuff there. So I got firsthand just thinking, oh yeah, they're probably open all the time. They're not. So I think that's one of the things that we have to, would we have volunteers that would be there? Would you have staff that would be there? I think it's a wonderful idea, especially I think at Riverside Park, there's so much activity there. I think you could get that, it would be a popular thing. The other thing I always question is I feel like we are staffed from Monday to Friday. And I don't think we just don't have the money to, say, and again, this is nothing,
Not this summer.
yeah. So I'm saying, I just think if you got, if we came up with a bunch of money or volunteers, I think that'd be great also. But I think your key point is you've got to be, you've got to be there when expected. Saturdays and Sundays are when a lot of times there's a lot of picnics and stuff going on there, and it'd be great to be able to sell people pop and lemonade and whatever else and candy and stuff. But we got to be able to do that. And I remember we talked about this years ago when there was no event centers and stuff. We talked about McHale could be a thing. Then we talked about bringing caterers in, but then we realized there wasn't any staff really that could be on call Saturday and Sunday to set for a wedding. So I think that, and I think this may be something we need to look at for the future. The times when I've been at, when my daughter was living in Lafayette with Columbia Park, they would have like kids with park shirts on, like I assume volunteers of some sort, on Saturdays and Sundays, and there's a hopping place too. So I think Riverside would be a place to start it. Does that mean you keep that building up at Spencer Park until such time? I don't know, It's not, it's at the far end there. I mean, I don't know the traffic that we get in there as to whether, I have had people, we're all on the topic, that have asked that we would build a sidewalk at Spencer Park so they could walk there all the time, and even Christmas in the park and blah, 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 blah. So I passed that along. But I guess I feel like the number one priority, I think, would be Riverside. And then we have to figure out how to fund. And again, I think you could make money at it. I also think you can provide service there. You got people go through the golf course and other stuff. So I guess I would just say we need to come up with a plan that says, can we handle it? I mean, when we thought about concession, or we thought about, weddings and stuff at the McHale Center, we kind of realized that there's no bodies to do that. And that was the problem I had, is, if you can't, you'll become the museum. Yeah, we're here on Monday at 4:00, and
Well, and it would
So-
definitely be seasonal as well. I mean,
yeah.
set up a window
Right.
of time that you could do it, but. Okay, any thoughts on what we're calling the bunker on the hill? Yeah. I can't,
That within our city with, our resources, backhoe and truck, you guys.
Yeah, I think
Kevin can take that
Kevin can
down.
take that
Yeah.
down.
I don't think there's any super historical purpose to that we would want to keep it, especially since it's not being used, but
What is it? Does anybody ever actually what it was?
we think it was for,
Barbecue pit or
we thought it was for skeet shooting.
That's what I heard before, for skeet shooting.
That you would sit under it and
In the
shoot
Civil
over the
War.
river or something, I don't
Over the
know.
river?
That's the only explanation I've ever heard for it. I don't know if it's right, so.
Makes sense. At that time, there's probably nothing.
I don't know what I don't, and I don't, I think if you even asked, I've asked Rich Voorhees this question too, and he didn't know what it was either. So,
Well, and I think once it is gone, there's some possibility there to make that parking lot a dual side. You could put another row of parking up there, which we found out again at Christmas in the Park we need. because we had people parking, we probably had 30 cars in the grass on the other sides of that, so, you know, it's a possibility, but, so I guess that's your discussion on that. And then you had 4th of July fireworks.
Yes, and so, you know, if you'll recall, we tried to talk about changing the ordinance of for the fireworks, right before it was time to have fireworks, and we decided, let's put it off, and we'll talk about it later, before this year's fireworks. And so we've been talking about it as a staff, and you know, the idea of changing the ordinance, to me, is probably is useless. And, I mean, not that, but I think that rather than trying to enforce rules on people that may not want to be told what to do, might be, you know, so our solution at this point right now is maybe doing a door-to-door safety campaign, starting in early June, and just talking to the families along that way, maybe have a flyer or a door hanger in 3 different languages, so that we're covering all our bases, and just trying to have, and then maybe including some of the other departments, the fire department maybe, not the police department, but the fire department, and us. And the mayor said that he'd be interested in helping as well. Just knock on the door and talk to people about the situation and how it goes, and I mean, I don't know if that's the best solution, but I don't know that a change, you know, asking people not to shoot their fireworks or legislating shooting fireworks on July 4th is stupid, you know? So we're not going to legislate stupid, are we? My stupid. So, anyway.
So,
What did the police feel? I mean, we talked about before on having that ordinance there. What was their opinion at the time? I can't remember what they said as far as,
Who?
well, I mean, it says on July 4th that those 30 neighbors can't shoot fireworks over to the parks. Did they think that was something, I mean, I could see where you could have an ordinance and you could mail, every year before that, mail out a document, and if, you know, and if you so want to look at the safety of the thing, you could, you know, you've notified them, send it by registered mail if you want, that this one day of the year we ask that you don't shoot fireworks over there, and then if that's the first step, then if somebody gets hurt, then you say we need to have a step it up, and that, you know, if you do this, you'll be fined $300 or whatever to do it. But I don't, you know, again, and people are still, I mean, I think you're just asking for one day of the year, aren't you? Just July 4th? I mean,
It's just July 4th, don't shoot off fireworks on July 4th.
I know.
it's, it is a,
They can't enforce it.
it's an issue to wrestle, because I agree. I don't think you can especially single out a certain neighborhood that says you can't do this, but if you live one block over, you're fine. I think that's hard to enforce. I think that's I just don't think that's right. I mean, you own property. I see the safety side of it too. I mean, we don't want people sitting in their backyards launching, you know, whatever into the park. I mean, so I don't know. A campaign to talk to people or put some literature out, maybe it will help. If it doesn't come across as, you know, we're the city coming down on you, like, if it isn't a legit ask, it's like, we just don't want people hurt. You know, and our fireworks show is over at 10:15, so it's not like fireworks are over. 10:30, okay.
So what's our past history? Have we had close calls, or, I mean, what's driving this from originally? Did we have?
Closest call was last year or the year before, when somebody shot it. The actual firework went astray, and it landed in the playground. Actually, in the playground. And so, in the police, yeah. So that was the closest, so, but,
We're talking 30 houses is all? Is it along, like between,
oh, maybe
15th
12, I don't
down to
know how
10th.
many.
it's just between like 10th and 16th or
Yeah,
something?
10 to 15.
It's like have police, those REACT guys, they could, I mean, during that time, just go along there and just say, hey, can you guys, I mean, door hangers and that, if signs work, we wouldn't have any shootings in schools, just no guns in schools, but, I mean.
Well, that's why we want to do a face-to-face thing with them, And it's been told that I'm probably stupid about thinking about the way, you're not stupid, but it's probably a effort in futility.
Yeah, I think you need real-time deterrent. because-
It might be, but you know what? I gotta try, I gotta try something, so that we're not, infringing on their rights, but asking them to use common sense and help us out.
Now, we've had fireworks at Riverside, how many, the past few years? Because before we were at Fairview, we were.
It's probably been 15 years.
That many years in a row at Riverside?
Yeah, because we were at Fairview probably till '05, and then we kind of worked our way, we tried to do it out at the fairgrounds for several years, and I don't remember what happened, but I think part of it had to do with the fact that they kept moving their fair up closer and closer to July 4th, and they were right on top of each other, so we couldn't do it. And then I'm pretty sure we went to Fairview, or back to Riverside then, like 12 or 13, I don't know. No, it's probably even longer before that. Because we only did the fairgrounds like 3 years. We didn't do it very long at the fairgrounds. It was beautiful at the fairgrounds for fireworks. It had a big sky and everything. It was great, but anyway. I mean, that's the other option is, let's find another place for the fireworks and have all the other activities at Riverside, and then, find a big field that everybody can drive to watch the fireworks. I know, we could do that. Huh?
You had a little turtle and you shot up the fireworks in the middle of the right?
Yeah, but there's too many trees there now. They're too tall and too many trees. I'm not sure that would work. Now, if we did it at the confluence, I don't know.
Any other discussion on this?
Well, you could always, my thought is, all those houses are set up on the High Street side. They've got a big backyard, so I kind of wonder if they are shooting, if they think it's fun to shoot over into the park, or whether, because if we could somehow get them, if they were up, most of them have probably 100 and some feet, below the house to our street. You could try to, persuade them to, you can still shoot your fireworks off. I think like bottle rockets and stuff are not going to reach that area, but that, obviously you've had that other thing that blew across the street into the playground, which
I don't
is,
remember what kind of firework that was. Do you, Kevin?
It was like a Roman candle.
Oh, okay.
it goes that way.
Yeah, easy.
Well, we can talk about it some more, but that's kind of what we're thinking about there, so. I have one, before I let Jacqueline come up, I have one other thing. We found out this week, on Monday, that the Department of Natural Resources is going to award land and water grants this year to other agencies, not just the state. So they are accepting applications for the grant. And so I'm going to start planning on that one. I would like to hire the Chuck Lehman and Mike Boltnick, who work for V3 now, I'd like to hire them to help us get a real working design that we want to see. I want them to help me put together I want to put together a master planning task force for Riverside Park, and so that we're sure to include the public, and because that's one of the elements of this grant, is making sure the public has been a part of it, and then help me come up with the budget and all that for this. So so that's my plan. In general, are you good with that? I mean, we wanted to get moving on Riverside Park, right? That was our goal. So, okay,
Is that it?
I'm going to shut up now. Yep.
Okay, Jacqueline, Recreation Director report.
All right, hi, everyone.
Aye.
So January was pretty busy. We met with a few of the baseball leagues per their lease agreements. We met with the men's softball, Cal Ripken, and Babe Ruth is being rescheduled. We are finished with the writing of the leases, and we will be signing them in the future. Zumba started. We're doing Zumba every Tuesday, and it's growing every week, which is really awesome. Last week I had more new people than I had people who were regulars, so that's always really positive. I'm still really new to instructing, and I'm very transparent about that. So as long as everyone else is still okay with it being a new program, new instructor, it's still going great. So I had in here that over 20 people have attended, but now, since Tuesday, that number has grown to 35, so 35 total. So that's nice. And, you know, it keeps growing a little bit more. That's 35 cumulative, not...
It was like, we've done 4 sessions.
But still.
Yeah.
Really good, especially for early morning and how gross January was for the weather. I applaud them. I don't know if I would have done the same. So, the community coffee talks are going well. The last one that we had a lot of businesses that I had actually never met. So that was really kind of cool. That was sort of the point, was that it was a genuine conversation, no sales pitches, kind of real, you know, interpersonal networking, as opposed to, you know, with an agenda or any little bingo situation. We all sat at one table, we all just had a real conversation. It was really cool. Everybody got everybody's emails, reached out to all of them for other events in the future, and everyone's pretty receptive. My bug event happened with Purdue Entomology Department, and we had 160 people show up. And we had over 40 people eat chocolate crickets, which is way cooler of a stat for me to tell you than really anything else. In case you guys needed to know, chocolate crickets won over the barbecue crickets, and we had a chalkboard asking everybody's favorite bug. Charantula was a top winner. That was adorable. Somebody wrote charantula, trying to spell tarantula. And then butterflies, of course, won. So, great.
So what do you attribute to getting 160 people there? What, advertising through, or?
I think that, honestly, this one was a mix of a lot of things. I did market this one pretty heavily for, because it's a free event, and I did want to promote our free events. I went a little bit differently than I have in the past. I did send out a flyer to the schools, but it was a mass flyer. It was a flyer with everything that we're doing all the way up until about mid-March. So that was on there, but this one came out the week of bugs, so that kind of helped. I did do some Facebook ads as well, targeted specifically to Logansport. That also helped. I think that it really kind of helped that it was inside and there's not that much, I mean, there's still a whole bunch happening in our community. And even, that number surprised me because Lunar New Year was the same day. So I don't know if I can really tell you exactly. I do know that a lot of the people that came genuinely liked bugs. So that probably really helped, that it was like a niche thing that, everyone kind of had a little bit of an interest in. So, yeah.
I guess the Purdue folks are pretty impressed.
Yeah, they were pretty happy. I had done this program at the library that I'd worked at previously, and we only saw about maybe 15, 20 people the last time not the same students, but the same kind of program. And of course, this is nowhere near their Purdue Bug Bowl numbers by any means of, but they were really happy. They put it in their reports, and their last social media blast, they talked about it and bragged about it too, so.
We'll probably get them back at some time.
Oh, I'm bringing them back 1,000,000%. They were the sweetest, and I got to touch bugs, and it was cool, so, yeah.
We used to take our kids to Purdue for that, and, I mean,
the Bug Bowl?
it's the whole,
Yeah.
blocks and blocks and blocks.
We didn't get all of
But
that.
this is a pretty,
Yeah, we didn't
Pretty
get
impressive.
all of the Bug Bowl bugs, but I mean, you got to touch a millipede, you got to hold a hissing cockroach. There was all the taxidermy.
Millipede was like this.
Yeah, the millipede was pretty big, and then they had the taxidermy beetles and stuff, and they were, of course, always gorgeous, so it was cool. It was cool. I'm definitely going to ask them back. They were wonderful to work with. What else? Meeting with Cass County Soil and Water. We're prepping for Earth Day. It's getting to be huge. So that's really cool. A lot of environmental community members are wanting to join and talk about their outreach, and some interesting businesses and things that I wouldn't have necessarily thought of or thought would be excited to join are. So that's really cool. It's going to be indoor and outdoor this year because of the growth. Carousel open that day too. We finalized our agreement with the Carousel as well for the March 27th Park After Dark. I don't have it written down, but just yesterday, Kona Ice came in clutch. I asked them for so many events this year already, and they have said yes to all of them. So they are going to be very sick of me, but I will be very happy, so it'll be great. And then Jan kind of already talked a little bit about it, but we met with Renee at Ferris Tribune, and I have been working very diligently on trying to figure out placement and on all of the articles that we're putting together for that. 4 pages doesn't really sound that much until you're given the page, and then, it's a sandbox kind of scenario. So you're wonderful. I don't want to take your job ever. Ferris Tribune has my absolute admiration after this. But we have a bunch. I think I have 4 pages written up, but I don't know spacing just yet. So still proofing them, still making them wonderful. My wonderful sports manager, Dave Smith, and I have been working to secure and finalize a lot of preparations for Little Tykes. We have Little Tykes baseball and Little Tykes soccer in the summer. And then we're going to be doing some additional programming for adults and seniors. Addition to the Zumba, we're going to have a walking group on Wednesdays. We're starting most of those in May. The registrations will be starting soon. But Dave's been working really awesomely to get some sponsors for our sports starting up, and it's going really wonderful. And yeah, we're doing a lot of prep work right now for the summer to be an ease of wonderful transition. We're introducing Logansport leashes, and I'm talking to Kelly Lehman a little bit more about that here soon. We do have our sponsorship for 4th of July for Tyson is going to sponsor our adult kickball tournament. The rest of this stuff mostly Dan has talked about. We finalized our booth space for the city of Logansport and all the departments to be at the farmer's market. We will have a spot there every week. We'll be rotating through with the different departments. We're still finalizing some of those details, but it's a really nice way for us to have outreach in the farmer's market to the community in a non-invasive kind of way. Oh, and then, yep, we've just started doing preparation for fall programming because we don't stop, I guess. Marketing-wise, our insights for Facebook are up 27%. We're at 97K. Our engagement is up 53%, and our followers are up 85%. I am so sorry.
We got that.
But yeah, so that's what that little chart looks like, and that's just Facebook. So don't get too excited, but it is wonderful growth.
Were we snowed in on like January 21st or something?
I don't
Was that a
know.
big snow weekend?
I think so.
I mean, look at that spike. That's just really crazy.
Sometimes with this, it can just be, this one's engagement. So even if there was conversations back and forth or comments, us liking it is an engagement, that's a movement, that kind of stuff. I don't remember January 21st, to be honest, but wonderful growth. Growth's always nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Rip.
you.
Maintenance report. So Kevin, come on up.
Glad to be back. Seems like forever since I've been here.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Mike, welcome aboard. So, we did another successful year at Christmas in the Park. That ends technically in January. We had fantastic weather, of course, for taking it down. Not sarcastically, honestly. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful for us to take the park down. We were able to get everything down and put away in a very timely fashion. The new pole barn was erected before the event was over, so we were able to house all the Christmas stuff into there. Yes, we still have some work to do inside that building. We'll worry about that come summertime when we have some extra help and you can feel your fingers. But yeah, it's a fantastic building. It houses everything we need to plus some. So the potential for growth out there is just moving up. I mean, we're really looking forward to what's to come. Right after that, we successfully seeded the Houston Park field for the Pollinator Project with Tony Carroll. So I'm really hoping, because we were really hoping for a good snow cover. Well, we got it. So that seed should have drilled in really good. We should see that stuff pop late next year. We won't really see much of it early this year, but we should start seeing a lot of those buds come in June, maybe July. Just little starts. That'd be great. The crew also started, we kind of had this weird transition from warm weather to cold weather to frigid weather to snow, kind of weird back and forth. So of course we do snow removal, which was a little taxing since we didn't have our plow and stuff yet, all that craziness. We have it now. It's all taken care of, and now the snow's done for now.
And now that you have your snow plow.
We have the snowplow, so did get to drop it a couple times, so that's a good thing there. We also started the land clearing up at Houston Park back in the wooded area to the east of the park there, trying to get a lot of that cleaned up. It was a lot of dead trees, a lot of vines, a lot of invasives that were in that path area. There's potential there for growing a natural playground situation to get that feel for kids to be able to play in a place that's not the standard playground equipment, something that's a little more natural, something more agility, logs and stepping stones and stuff like that, just more natural based. So that work has been accomplished last week. We took the whole week and dropped tons and tons of trees, dead trees. These aren't anything worth keeping. We kept the good ones. There's still plenty of good trees there. Hopefully those will rebound and start growing again now that the vines have been taken from it. There's still a lot of work to be done. All the trees are down, but they need to be cleaned. So we have to get the chipper out there. We got a lot of work to do still, but at least the stuff's down, which is really beneficial. Personally, I've been working with a lot of contractors, trying to get things taken care of early with equipment. Like Jan said, tractors and backhoe has been given to us. I mean, not given to us, but we take possession of it. We've been using it for the land clearing. The wide area mower for Houston, stump grinder, truck, all the good stuff. Just meeting with a lot of people, getting all that stuff accomplished. Working with contractors for the removal of the concession stand at the dog park, not the press box of the concession stand at the dog park, to put a peaked roof onto it. Met with multiple contractors there, just trying to get our springtime kind of filled out. Spring's coming along. We took possession of our lights for Spencer, so that's going to be going in, all the underground wiring and all those poles, the shade sails at the tower, new picking tables. I mean, there's a plethora of things that we're going to be really diving into this spring. So another great year that's ahead of us. So it's kind of what we've been doing this January, just taking advantage of the cold weather before we mess the ground up.
When do they expect to finish those last 2 or 3 cameras?
So this Friday, we are meeting again. They were here when we got that first really crazy snow squall. So they were trying to finish those cameras, but it was those gusty winds really prevented them to do it. They couldn't feel their fingers, so they called it quits. So they are coming in Friday, and our game plan is let's get all the point-to-points activated that brings those cameras online, boom, 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 and then there's just a couple outliers that literally just need the data like slapped onto it. And so really Friday, we should really be to that point, yeah. We are kind of putting a pin right now, finishing the camera at the dog park just because of the removal of that second story. So that kind of dictates how that camera gets installed. So we're kind of, the infrastructure's there. It's just getting the camera reinstalled once that building takes its new form. We don't want to get it up there just to take it back down. But other than that, we're in a really good place with them, and we should be really good on Friday.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, Susie, question?
Actually, it's not, I just have a comment. I think that it's really important for the people of Logansport to know that this camera installation is happening, is completed on the trails. I spend a lot of my time exercising, and I know that there are a lot of people who stopped using the trails because they didn't feel safe. I think that you should really let people know that we've got these new trail cameras and that, they're up and working. And I mean, we've been talking about this for a year.
Yes.
So people need to know that it's happened and that they're working. People just need to know it's okay that you can be a single woman running or walking on a trail and the cameras are working.
I appreciate that. We'll do a press release.
Yeah.
Well, we got somebody to interview, maybe we can work on that, James. So, yeah, thank you for reminding us.
Okay, golf course manager report. Dean?
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Hey,
Bear with me, I got a little bit of a cough still lingering. A lot going on, like always, like everybody. It's that time of the year where we're ready for, getting ready for the spring. Spring's coming quick. No decision on when we're gonna open the course just yet. We're getting a lot of phone calls. It's not gonna be this weekend, obviously. Some cleanup to do. We'll see what happens next week. I know the weather's gonna be really nice, but we'll have to make sure the course is firm enough before we even let walkers out on the golf course. And we got a lot of cleanup to do, but that will just come. Be nice next week to be able to get out there and do a lot of the cleanup. You know, it's been a rough winter with all the snow and the wind and so there's a lot of stuff down. So we got our work cut out for us. LU completed their whole project, which they had another company do, Edison, I believe, something, down number 4 and back to the parks and back on 17. They got out of there last Friday just in time because they had some really big equipment back there. I have not been back there. They had to put 5 poles back on 17T, which that's as far back as you can get. That's basically to the William Packard Lodge. You know, I mean, it's probably 100 yards from across the ditch here to the Packard Lodge. So, I mean, that's how far back they had to go. So very thankful that they got it finished up last week because it would have been a mess, you know, probably from here on out. There's probably going to be hopefully no more big freeze like what we had. So that's done, so we're very happy with that. Besides that, I mean, we're going through all the equipment, you know, getting all that done. We've cut some trees down and removed some stumps and stuff like that. So we got a lot of things going on, still a lot of stuff to go. Matt Franklin does retire. This is his last month. He's been with the parks for roughly 15 years or so. He was with us in the parks and back to us for the last 3 years, I believe, 2.5, 3 years. And then Blake, who we already hired as part-time, will take over his position first part of March. Very happy for the transition and for Matt to still be around part-time to help out and everything. On the golf operations side of it, the Sims have been doing what we have expected or what we had hoped. I mean, they're getting busier and busier. They're getting more people that find out about them and realize how nice they are, you know, and how easy it is to make a tee time online or reservation. So very happy with how that's going. You know, we find our times, you know, sometimes of the day are busier, you know, like yesterday morning was extremely busy, you know, tomorrow morning's not. And today was pretty busy too in the morning, but, you know, tomorrow morning's not. It's just kind of hit and miss a little bit. It could be busy now. You could get people, you know, already before I left, I looked at the reservation sheet, so it could fill up. Very happy with the way it's going. Kyle's been doing a lot of work with promoting that and getting people up there and with the league and everything. So one other thing that kind of goes along with the sim is we're able to do club fittings, which that's just another way for us to make money, sell clubs, stuff like that. And we have a Mizuno fitting day at the end of the month. We started out with just one bay going to do it, and now we're doing both bays, and they're going to have 2 fitters up there, and we will be able to fit after they leave. We are getting a whole fitting system, so we're very excited about that, and you know, just another tool for us to, you know, be successful there. Jan already mentioned the after hours in March. July 9th is our 100th anniversary celebration. We're excited that we got the date set. We are getting we We have another meeting into this month, same day as our fitting day, but the committee has another meeting that day. We will start to get some more details and figuring out stuff like that. We have music. We're going to have dinner afterwards, which is a little different. We're going to have a little celebration, or I don't know, just beforehand too, you know.
Well, March 5th is the kickoff of the 100th anniversary. I
Yeah.
guess that's what Kyle calls it, so.
Yeah,
So
so
that's-
we'll celebrate all year, basically. We'll have some merchandise with it on there, and it's something to be, been around a long time. We got a lot of great things going on, you know, still with the driving range, everything that's coming this year. So we're really excited about that. We'll have more details about the 9th, you know, as it comes, probably next month, I guess, after our meeting, and get everything finalized there. You know, this last week I attended the GCSAA National Conference in Orlando. I'm a 30-year member of it, and it's only the second time I've been. It is, especially these days, it is so good to go. There is 20,000 GCS Golf Course Superintendents Association. There are 20,000 members. There's over 12,000, almost 13,000 people that attended this conference, and over 8,000 that attended classes, and over 500 exhibitors too. The technology in this industry now is just, I mean, it blows my mind where everything's going. And 10 years ago, I would have never thought stuff like this. That's why these conferences are important, not just for seeing the new things that are out there. It's meeting new vendors. I mean, we saved one of the things we're going to buy this year. I found it for one thing for $6,000 less, which is, you know, from 15 to 9 is a big deal. And one thing, saving over $10,000 on our driving range, possibly. So, very excited. You know, the conference is good for the networking, that, you know, recharges you, gets you ready for the new year. Which, you know, we're going to hit the ground running here real soon. Excuse me, I forgot my readers today. I think I didn't skip over anything there. You know, I could go on, but, you know, I'm sure everybody's ready. I'm always the last guy, so everybody's like, get it, you know, wrap it up, Dean. So, yeah. So, any questions or anything?
Do they have leagues like similar to bowling? Off of that?
Yeah, we started a league this year, and I think it'll just continue to grow, and more people
Great.
find out about it, and it's very flexible, you know.
Not much either.
You know, you're not committed to Tuesday nights at 5. You can, you know, I know my friends, I got a couple friends that always played Monday at 5, but, well, okay, last week they couldn't. One of the guys was out of town, so they played Friday or Thursday or something. So that's one thing that's nice about the simulator leagues. Just play that week, you know. Yeah.
Just as I don't know if you noticed that in here on the comparison sheet, it shows that the simulator brought in almost $12,000 in January alone. And if you look at last year's numbers, we barely made $4,000 out of doing all the other stuff. So, yeah, it's working.
Yeah. And, you know, I haven't worked the clubhouse a lot, you know, little bits, a couple hours here and there. And yesterday I was there to 4 o'clock, and I mean, it was a busy day in the morning. I mean, we were booked pretty much to 1 o'clock. We, you know, sold beverages and, you know, took tea times, and I had a smile on my face yesterday. I was very happy with it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
I also wanted to
Thank you, Dean.
I wanted to point out
What I
that
hear.
I provided you, this is the loan we have to build the clubhouse, and the current balance is $33,723.70. I mean, that's how much money we still have left to be able to put into that project. So I think we know what we're going to do with it, but probably more Paving, probably, yeah. A flagpole, that's the other thing Dean and I have been talking about, so. Then, just so you see, I wanted you to see also, this is our current balance in the foundation fund and the projected donations and how that's all going to come out. The one thing I want you to understand too is our plan is to pay extra payments as we can on the principal. And so, like, I think that's our plan to do here in July, make a second principal payment. So that's supposed to help reduce that. It's a negative figure in the very bottom, but I think we'll have that out of the way, no problem. So, I don't want you to fret over that. We're really, if everybody keeps on paying what they've promised they'd pay, we'll be fine. So.
Okay, visitors' comments. Do we have any visitor comments? All right, board comments. Ammon?
No comment today.
Mike?
Just wanted to mention, this may be not the place for this or whatever, but there's a fellow named Josh Weber who had the Skate World, and I have worked with him some on just trying to figure a business plan, this kind of thing. He has, to my understanding, he has signed, sealed, and delivered at the old Myers Bowling Alley West. So he's down in our area, our neck of the woods, and I mentioned to him, I thought when we get the driving range going, so that kind of stuff, parents, people could drop their kids off at the bowling alley, or not the, I'm sorry, Skate World, at the Skate World. And he seems very excited to get things going, and he's got a pretty short time scale to get things going, but I think that he's something that we could use in a lot of ways. A lot of the times that when we do school surveys, a lot of times we hear back that kids don't have any place to get together and hang out and stuff. And I had somebody in the athletic party, tell them to come to the basketball games. They haven't been doing so great. So anyway, I mentioned to him that he should probably get to know some of you folks, and I think there could be some things that happen, some cross promotions and stuff like that, and that close to Dykeman too, and stuff like that. So anyway, that's what's.
And he's fixing up the old Myers Bowl?
Yeah, he's going to make it a skating rink. So that'll be a skating rink. That'll become Skate World. And I mean, it's kind of interesting. The building really fits pretty well because before a bowling alley has they got still the tables in there where you have your food and you step down. There's a big step down, where the bowling ball comes under the floor and comes back up. So you got the last step down onto the rink or the floor is probably 18 to 24 inches, but they'll figure that out. But a lot of stuff set up there. Apparently, he has a lot of pinball games, arcade games. You could see increasing some of that stuff too. He's got a lot more space than he had. So
Old bar area.
Yes. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, before you passed out shoes at a bowling alley, you passed out skates at so some places are there. There was a factory there between times, so there's a lot of walls have been put in here and there for things. But anyway, he seems pretty excited, and I wish him well. He's got get a lot of things done quickly. But anyway,
That's great.
yeah. And again, it was nice to see something, to help for the kids. Yeah. So, yeah. So, anyway.
Did he buy it?
It's on a contract to buy. So he's in the process of buying it from Jim Hayden. He used to be the Ford dealer here. So, but he's gonna have to, he needs to partner some because there's a lot of front end costs that he has to do that, so anyway. We wish him well.
Other Mike?
I want to give a shout out to Jacqueline. I'm jealous of her energy, and I think she is an amazing asset. And it's good to have someone that's, which gen are you now? Because I know I'm the greatest ever, or whatever it is. So, are you, what is it? I always get straight. Millennial, Gen, all that stuff. Anyway, she has a wealth of knowledge, and she knows the difference between Instagram and Facebook, and, and I think that's where it's all at. So anyway, I'm impressed. I had a meeting with her this morning, and it's really going to be a big asset, so.
Yep. I guess I'll shout out Dykeman. I've been doing the Sim League out there, and the staff and everybody's been great. I'm a beginner golfer, and it's been great and a lot of fun. So thanks.
Just want to thank everybody on the staff, all the department heads and the employees of the Parks Department that make all of this work. Once again, thanks for everything that you're doing. Even in the dead of winter, it is busy, 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 and there's a lot going on. So thanks to everyone for that. With that, at 7 o'clock, we are adjourned.
Should we hug?